Black Panther Party is simply the vanguard of the revolution, and we plan to teach the people the strategy and the necessary tools to liberate themselves.
Have you ever taken a stand for what you believe in, even when it wasn't popular? These courageous individuals did just that, and their stories will inspire you. We'll explore the Black Power movement, which emerged during the 1960s and 1970s. A time of great social upheaval and change in the United States. This movement arose in response to systemic racism, segregation, and economic inequality, gaining momentum as African Americans sought to assert their rights and identity. The Black Power movement wasn't just a reaction. It was a revolutionary force that played a pivotal role in American history. It challenged the status quo and advocated for racial pride, self-sufficiency, and equality. The impact of this movement is profound, as it reshaped national conversations about race and inspired future social justice movements. It left a lasting legacy of empowerment and resilience that we can still feel today. In this video, we will explore this remarkable movement, its origins, key figures, the opposition it faced, and its enduring significance. Greetings and welcome. I'm Carolyn A. from GettingToTheRoots.com. Here, we're all about uncovering and celebrating your unique family history. Together, we'll explore and honor the stories that define us. Let's dive in. How did the 1960s set the stage for Black Power? The 1960s, a decade of civil rights marches, sit-ins, and hard-won victories. But beneath the surface, a new movement was brewing, fueled by the frustrations and unfulfilled promises of the civil rights era. This was the Black Power movement, a call for more than just desegregation. It was a demand for dignity, respect, and control over Black destinies. Born from the ashes of systemic racism, segregation, and economic hardship, the Black Power movement sought to address the root causes of inequality. The Watts riots of 1965 and the growing sense that integration alone wouldn't solve these problems sparked a call for a new approach. When Stokely Carmichael, a prominent civil rights leader, first shouted Black Power during a rally in 1966, it resonated deeply. This powerful phrase became a rallying cry for self-determination, pride, and community empowerment, forever changing the landscape of the fight for racial justice. Who were the key early figures shaping the Black Power movement? Major players. Stokely Carmichael, later known as Kwame Ture, he was a prominent leader who popularized the term Black Power during a rally in 1966. His advocacy for Black self-reliance and pride resonated deeply within the African American community. Bobby Seale, co-founder of the Black Panther Party alongside Huey P. Newton, Seale played a key role in organizing community programs and advocating for social change. His leadership and charisma helped galvanize support for the party and its message. Huey P. Newton, as a co-founder of the Black Panther Party with Bobby Seale, Newton was instrumental in establishing the party's foundational principles. His intellectual vision and commitment to Black empowerment were pivotal in shaping the party's direction and impact.
Not to, in our community, not to promote our welfare or for our security and our safety, but they're there to contain us, to brutalize us and murder us, because they have their orders to do so.
David Hilliard, as the chief of staff of the Black Panther Party, Hilliard was a key figure in managing the party's day-to-day operations and ensuring its growth. His organizational skills and dedication were crucial to the party's success in advocating for social justice. H. Rap Brown, known for his passionate and powerful speeches, Brown was a leader in the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee and later the Black Panther Party. His advocacy for armed self-defense and his critique of systemic racism made him a prominent figure in the movement. In 1971, after converting to Islam, he changed his name to Jamil Abdullah Al-Amin to reflect his new faith and identity. Fred Hampton, a dynamic leader within the Black Panther Party, Hampton was known for his ability to unite diverse groups and build community coalitions. His assassination by Chicago police in 1969 sparked outrage and further fueled the movement's momentum. Assata Shakur, a member of the Black Liberation Army, became a symbol of resistance after escaping from prison and seeking exile in Cuba. Her firm stance against police brutality and racial injustice, even through armed struggle, continues to inspire and provoke debate. Minor players. Kathleen Cleaver, a key organizer and strategist within the Black Panther Party, Cleaver played a vital role in developing the party's political platform and community programs. Her intelligence and dedication helped to shape the movement's direction and impact. Elaine Brown, as the first and only female chair of the Black Panther Party, Brown brought a unique perspective and leadership style to the movement. She focused on community organizing, political education, and empowering women within the party. Amiri Baraka, a poet, playwright, and activist, Baraka's work reflected the Black Power movement's emphasis on cultural pride and self-determination. His writings and speeches served as a rallying cry for Black artists and intellectuals to use their talents for social change. Who feared the power of Black unity? The opposition to the Black Power movement stemmed from a complex web of motivations and fears. Government agencies, particularly law enforcement, saw the movement's leaders as extremists and viewed their calls for self-determination as a direct challenge to their authority and a potential catalyst for widespread civil unrest. The prospect of a unified Black community asserting its power was perceived as a threat to the existing social order and the government's control. White supremacist groups, driven by their deeply ingrained racist ideologies, vehemently opposed the movement's goals of equality and empowerment. They viewed Black power as a dangerous force that could dismantle the systems of racial inequality and white privilege they sought to maintain. Their opposition often took the form of violent intimidation and acts of terrorism aimed at suppressing the movement's progress. Politicians and segments of the public, often motivated by a combination of racial prejudice and economic anxieties, expressed concerns about the potential loss of their perceived social and economic privileges. The movement's demands for the redistribution of wealth and resources were seen as a threat to the status quo, and its challenges to traditional social norms sparked fear and resentment among those who benefited from the existing power structures. These diverse motivations fueled a variety of strategies aimed at countering the Black Power movement. Government agencies engaged in surveillance, infiltration, and disinformation campaigns to undermine the movement's credibility and disrupt its activities. Conservative groups and politicians used their influence in the media and legislative bodies to promote negative narratives about the movement, often portraying it as violent and extremist. White supremacist groups resorted to violence and intimidation to terrorize activists and discourage participation in the movement. This multifaceted opposition, driven by fear, prejudice, and a desire to preserve existing power structures, created a challenging environment for the Black Power movement. Who opposed the Black Power movement? Several notable events highlight the extent and intensity of the opposition faced by the Black Power movement. In a controversial 1969 raid, Chicago police, working with the FBI, stormed the apartment of Fred Hampton, a rising star of the Black Panther Party. Tragically, Hampton was killed. Many believe this wasn't just a raid, it was a calculated move to silence a powerful voice for change. The infamous Panther 21 case in New York City saw 21 members of the party arrested in 1969 on charges of planning attacks on police stations and other public places. The trial lasted for months, and all defendants were eventually acquitted, but the legal battles drained the party's resources and diverted attention from their community programs. Members of the Ku Klux Klan directly targeted the African American community in the 1963 Birmingham church bombing. These examples of opposition not only illustrate the significant challenges the Black Power movement encountered, but it also highlights the resilience and determination of its activists. Did government repression crush the Black Power movement? The movement faced relentless opposition from government agencies, notably the FBI's COINTELPRO, which systematically targeted and undermined Black Power organizations. Key leaders were harassed, arrested, or assassinated, creating a climate of fear and instability. Economic challenges further strained the movement. Many of the programs initiated by Black Power organizations required significant resources. As government pressure increased and donations decreased, sustaining these initiatives became increasingly difficult. How did the Black Power movement empower communities? The Black Power movement was not only about protests and political activism, but also about community building and self-sufficiency. Here are some of the programs they established. Free Breakfast for Children program, perhaps the most well-known program of the Black Panther Party. This initiative provided nutritious meals to impoverished children in urban areas. Community health clinics. The Black Panthers also set up clinics in underserved neighborhoods, offering free or low-cost healthcare, vaccinations, and disease screenings. Education initiatives. Some groups focused on creating alternative schools and educational programs that centered Black history, culture, and empowerment. Legal aid. Several organizations offered legal assistance and representation to those facing discrimination and police brutality. Housing cooperatives. Some groups attempted to establish cooperative housing to provide affordable and safe living spaces for Black families. The community programs established by the Black Panther Party, such as free breakfast programs and health clinics, set a precedent for grassroots activism and community support. These initiatives demonstrated the power of self-reliance and community solidarity, principles that continue to inspire social justice efforts today. The movement also influenced other marginalized groups, encouraging them to organize and advocate for their rights. The ethos of empowerment and self-determination promoted by the Black Power movement can be seen in various social justice movements around the world. The Black Power movement's legacy is far-reaching. It didn't just end, it transformed and continues to shape the fight for racial justice and equality. From inspiring a generation to embrace their Black pride to sparking community-driven initiatives and influencing global social justice movements, its impact is undeniable. And that's a wrap on Black Pride, Black Power, Rise and Fall. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more content like this. I'd love to hear what you think. What lessons can we learn from the Black Power movement's resilience and revolutionary spirit? How can those lessons guide our actions in the ongoing fight for justice and equality? Let's dive deeper into the conversation in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.